Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today I'm back with the 4th episode of my brand new series, Showdown Throwdown, where I play a couple of VGC 2016 games on Pokemon Showdown. Today will be the last episode featuring the core that we've used in the previous episodes, including Kangaskhan, Xerneas, Kyogre, Ferrothorn, and Gengar. The last one we did feature Mega Salamence, replacing the Landorus Incarnate form we had earlier to try it out, and it did have pretty good impact immediately, so we're going to play a couple of games today and see what we can find. As always, if you guys enjoy the series, please show your support by leaving a like on the video, I'd really appreciate it. To kick off the first battle, my opponent's got a team of Kyogre, Cresselia, Salamence, Ferrothorn, Ho-Oh, and Landorus T. And while I'm on the topic of teams, if you guys have any suggestions for ideas / cores that you want to see next week, definitely let me know. I'm definitely thinking of playing around Primal Groudon, but anything else is really open. So let's see. My opponent having a Ho-Oh is already pretty intriguing. Also having his own Mega Salamence. Ferrothorn's always a little bit annoying to deal with just because I don't have any fire type attacks on this team. Xerneas could be kind of nice here, but he does have the Ho-Oh and the Ferrothorn. But I guess if I protect it well enough, it could definitely work out. He definitely has a Trick Room option on Cresselia's end, but also the Tailwind option on Salamence, so I don't really know which mode my opponent's going for, which can be a little bit tricky. So I feel like I really should bring Kangaskhan, but none of his team resists Hyper Voice, which is a pretty strong option. But Kangaskhan's Low Kick is my best answer to the Ferrothorn. I do guess he has 2 Intimidators and Ho-Oh, which could Sacred Fire. So that was a pretty interesting pick. You know, some players opted to use it in 2010 to decent success, and it seems like one of those Pokemon that is definitely viable. You just have to really put it on the right team. So let's see what I want to lead with here. Maybe I'll go for Xerneas immediately, since I don't really tend to do that very much. Something like Salamence, Xerneas, Kyogre in the back. And for the last one, Ferrothorn's decent. It's better than Gengar, that's for sure. Okay, so he goes with Landorus and Ferrothorn, which is a smart option, because my Xerneas definitely suffers a little bit. Yeah, I think a fire type attack on the Salamence would have made sense, just for the fact that it shuts down the Ferrothorns that like to counter the Xerneas, because you imagine if I had a fire type attack here, things would be looking really good. I could switch out into my Kyogre. Could go straight for the Hyper Voice. I could just Geomancy, which I despise because a lot of players typically like to do that. I think I'm going to Hyper Voice protect this first turn and see what my opponent goes for. A Ferrothorn actually protects, so wow, Geomancy actually would have been the play. So let's see what Landorus goes for. He actually just launches a Rock Slide off there. Okay, I'm fine with that. So I shall Hyper Voice here. The switch out on Xerneas' end is kind of obvious. So now I wonder if I should just Geomancy. I'm just going to go for it. And I get it. Wow. So my opponent overextending on that prediction, expecting me to switch out. And as a result, Xerneas manages to set up a Geomancy off. So I think our first Xerneas setup in this. Ferrothorn does come back out, obviously. A good option for my opponent. But that's going to allow me, I think, to actually just Tailwind and protect here. And actually, I don't even need the Tailwind. I shall Hyper Voice and protect. Yeah. The reason behind the Tailwind that I wanted to set up was so that the Kyogre in the back would be set up, but getting a Hyper Voice off here would actually be really nice because it's free damage against both of my opponent's Pokemon. Is Ho-Oh gonna set up a Tailwind? What's Ho-Oh doing here? Oh no, he goes for the Sacred Fire there, okay. Maybe Tailwind would have been better. I could switch out into my Kyogre. So I will Hyper Voice and Moonblast Ferrothorn here. And I actually got a critical hit. I'm not sure how much that actually mattered, since Hyper Voice obviously does a lot of good damage against them. You see how bulky the Ho-Oh here is? I was actually taking the Hyper Voices quite nicely, as well as the, presumably Dazzling Gleam. But now that's going to be game. I'm just going to be able to go for the Tailwind. We'll Moonblast into Ho-Oh, as that's my phone. Excuse me, sorry. He's going to go for the Double Protect there. But the Tailwind here will be able to finish things off. So pretty clean sweep here, and that's because Xerneas, you can see how potent it is in this format. And yeah, the Dazzling Gleam here and the Hyper Voice in combination will be able to pick up a win here in the first game of today's episode. So yeah, pretty quick one there, but that's the power of Xerneas. So let's see this next one. We've got the double Primal option here. Potential double Mega, but most likely not. Double Primal is definitely really interesting though. Because he has the Gengar, I'm more inclined to go with my Salamence here. So I think I shall lead Solomon's Gengar just because Gengar gives me options against these 4 guys. I will go with Kyogre and... You know, Xerneas did an excellent job last time around, but not too great against the 2 ghost types here, so I like a Ferrothorn a little bit more. So, let's get into this one. Let's see. Important things in this battle to note. First of all, the Whimsicon's probably the biggest threat because it helps my opponent set up in terms of just getting the rest of the team going. Aegislash is always a little bit obnoxious to deal with, but, you know, the thing is, Aegislash is still really good in the format, but now it gets hit harder than it did previously, especially with, like, Kyogre. It can also taunt it. He actually leads Kangaskhan and Aegislash, so VGC 2014 and a VGC 2015 lead. Still making an impact nowadays. Fake Out is common, probably. I wonder if he has Substitute. I do have Kyogre and Ferrothorn in the back, so I could switch out here. I could Hyper Voice, I could Tailwind, plethora of options, but I think what I actually want to do is... I wonder if that means he has Groudon and Kyogre as his last 2. It wouldn't be surprising. I'll Mega Evolve to get the speed boost out Speed King and double protect this first turn, see what he goes for. Because then I can Will-O-Wisp him potentially as well. Or Taunt. He actually goes straight for the Double Edge, and no Substitute, which is good. He goes for the Shadow Ball there. Okay, that's nice. So I could burn the Kangaskhan, but there's a decent chance he goes into Groudon. So I could Hyper Voice and Taunt Aegislash. Or I could just Will-O-Wisp Kangaskhan. I'm gonna Taunt Aegislash. Yep, there's a switch into Groudon. Perfect. Let's see if Aegislash King shields or not. It does, so that actually works out perfectly for me, since I just get free damage off with Hyper Voice, and I get the taunt off. So that's quite nice. So I'm going to take that opportunity to set up a Tailwind here. And Gengar's still really important to deal with Kangaskhan, so I'm going to protect here. Given that I Mega Evolve, now I can't touch my Gengar. So I'm actually hoping he knocks my Salamence out here as he goes for a Thunder. Wow. Not the move I was anticipating, but alright. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to double up on Groudon. I think Draco plus Sludge Bomb should knock out, but he actually makes a good play and protects here, bringing me down to my Focus Sash. So he might know that I don't have the Shadow Ball. Yeah, I should have switched into Kyogre. That was a bad play on my end. Nonetheless, I'll still go for the same play again. He doesn't have any really great options here. He actually switches out into the Kyogre, which I'm okay with, though a good play at that. He actually pulls out the double switch, which actually I'm very okay with. Yeah, that's perfect for me here. Because now I can just Will-O-Wisp him. Poison would have been nice there, but you take what you can get. So let's switch out into Ferrothorn. Will-O-Wisp is kind of obvious here, so I wonder if he's actually going to be smart and make the switch out into Groudon. That would be interesting. But I'll give it to him. And if he actually goes for the fake out play, then he's just done for. He might also be, you know, Salamence is a Poke. Actually, no, I shouldn't have Double Edge. He should know that. So there's the switch, and he stays in. Nice. So I get the Will-O-Wisp off against Kangaskhan, but he makes a good read there. Goes for the low kick onto my Ferrothorn. So I do take a ton of damage there, but he's going to take Iron Barbs and burn damage as he goes for the Ice Beam there onto my Gengar. So he does knock me out there. Tailwind peters out. Could set up Tailwind again with my Salamence, or I could just Hyper Voice. How much did Draco do the first time around? 37, so I could knock him out with the Draco, actually. Protect's kind of obvious, though. Also, I don't want to lose the Weather War here. Yeah, I'll switch out into Kyogre and Draco, I think. So he doesn't switch out. Does he protect his Kyogre? Nope. Okay, so I pick up the knockout there, but does he double edge my Salamence or does he low kick? Ah, he double edges Mence, but I hang on just with enough HP. Literally, I think that's 1 HP. Yeah, that's crazy. So, clutch survival there on Salamence's end and an excellent play on my opponent's end. That's going to allow him to bring the Groudon back out. Yeah. Which is very bad for me. Yeah, I definitely did not play this one as well as I could have. Definitely did not. But nonetheless, that's fine. I'll just switch out in a Ferrothorn and sack it, I guess, here. And I guess protect Mence, which kind of sucks. Me low kicks Ferrothorn, that's fine. Oh, he actually gets a crit there to finish it off, so that might have mattered there. As he does Erupt. So yeah, I mean, that actually did matter in the long run. Let's see. So I'm gonna Water Spout here for sure. The question is, does he Sucker Punch? Or does he not? Because I need Salamence for 2 answers against the Groudon. Good Tailwind here. Okay, if I Hyper Voice here and he Sucker Punches, then I get a knockout, but then it's Kyogre against Groudon Primal. I guess I still win that, right? But Water Spout might not knock out Aegislash. Actually, no, it won't knock out Aegislash. So I'll Tailwind here expecting the Sucker Punch, but he's probably not going to Sucker... Oh, he does. Okay, good. But this game is still definitely not over. I actually get a crit on the Mega Kangaskhan for a whole whooping 1% of damage. But now I kind of lose, I think. Yeah, because I needed some damage against Aegislash. Double Edge would be so nice here. I really wish I had it. I'm gonna double protect here to see what he does for. Maybe bait the Aegislash into attack form, actually, that'd be great. But then he can just double protect again, so eh. But given that I'm not running physical type attacks, it's relatively risk-free. I also want to know the Primal Groudon's moveset, like whether he has Rock Slide or not. I guess you can still Erupt here, right? But Eruption doesn't do jack against Kyogre. And Ice Beam might be a 2-hit KO Groudon at this point, but I'm not sure. Really comes down to how bulky it is, but yeah, I put myself in a pretty bad position when I didn't capitalize off my Tailwind turns. Like, the best play I had going for me was to switch out into Kyogre when Aegislash was taunted, which was exactly why I taunted, so I didn't really think my game plan fully through. You know, once that happens, then you can fully just sweep through, because then you're faster than Groudon and Aegislash, so best play my opponent can do is protect and switch out, and then the next turn, like, Tailwind is still up, so that was kind of a mishap on my end there. But let's see how my opponent deals with these last couple of turns. You can see how much the Weather War really means in this format, being able to put it into your advantage and conserving your last one. So he actually protects Primal Groudon there and attacks with the Aegislash. Not the move I was anticipating, but okay. That's a start. So, given that Primal Groudon protecting me, we can obviously double up into it, but it doesn't help us much. Whew. I wonder if Aegislash is going to King Shield here. If he King Shields, he loses, I guess. So he kind of has to attack, right? I'm going to go for it. Oh, nice! Does Ice Beam pick up the knockout? Okay, okay. Can we still win this? What does he go for? He Erupts, okay. So Ice Beam should be a 2-hit KO on Groudon. Nice, we made the reads. He's gonna protect here, that's fine. I wonder if he's max speed, because that was speed time. That could be annoying. He also could have Precipice Blades. So, if he, or, I mean, any ground type attack. So it comes down to who's faster here. I mean, I'm max speed Kyogre, so if he is also max speed Groudon, nope, okay, we outspeed. Almost picks up the knockout. He has Thunder, but he doesn't get the Paralysis. Okay, I was gonna say, if you connected with Thunder in the sun against Kyogre and got the Paralysis, then that'd be a little bit annoying. I think he revealed that earlier, right? So, wow. You know, that's a really interesting option. It doesn't make too much sense to me because you don't really want to keep your Primal Groudon in against a Kyogre, but good game to my opponent there. Definitely a really, really intense one as we're going to look for our third battle. Otherwise, yeah, in retrospect, you know, like I said, taking advantage of the Tailwind probably was the biggest thing I should have done in that one, and in retrospect it ended up working out alright, but still a really scary match here. Next one here, we do see another Whimsicott, though it did not make an appearance in the last one, paired with Kangaskhan, Groudon, and Xerneas, probably a very common core right now, maybe the most common core, and then Bisharp and Golduck. So Golduck's pretty interesting, he actually typically sees a Choice Scarf, at least the ones I run into. So, I like leading Gengar here. Salamence is shaky, especially given the Bisharp, though I don't think my opponent would really want to bring that. But I do have Xerneas, I guess. So I'll go Gengar, Kangaskhan. Ferrothorn is always kind of necessary. And I guess Kyogre. Yeah, the typical 4. So he leads Kangaskhan Bisharp. Good thing I did not bring that Salamence. A bunch of options immediately. I'm just gonna Will-O-Wisp Kang and fake out Bisharp. I think that's the safest play because Bisharp here can't do too much, and Kangaskhan here, if it wants to avoid the Will-O-Wisp, has to Scrappy fake out Gengar. So if he doesn't have Scrappy, he immediately gets burned. Kangaskhan here might be tempted to low kick my Kangaskhan, which is certainly a very good play. But if he does do that, then I can just burn him. And he does a Mega Evolve, but he wins the speed tie, which is really unfortunate. If I won the speed tie there, I would have been ahead considerably in this match. I do get the burn here, but that's a little bit obnoxious. But, you know, that's kind of what you have to run into here. So I'll just Will-O-Wisp Bisharp here and low kick Kangaskhan. It's a relatively risk-free play. He could double up and Sucker Punch my Kangaskhan, actually. But nope, he's going to switch out into Groudon, which I'm okay with, unless he wins the speed tie again. So I'll miss the Will-O-Wisp, that doesn't matter. Nope, he doesn't win it. Get the low kick, knock out the Kangaskhan. Okay. So yeah, if the first turn worked out as I would have hoped it to work out, I wouldn't have really taken any damage there, but that's fine. I really can't complain. So he brings in Groudon and Xerneas. So I could just taunt here. And I guess I want to switch out in Kyogre here, but because he could erupt. Or I could Sludge Bomb. Yeah, why taunt when I can Sludge Bomb in Double Edge? I feel like he might protect Groudon, so I'm gonna switch, or protect Xerneas, so I'm gonna switch out into Kyogre to cover that option. Oh wow, he actually switched out. Interesting. And he did Geomancy. Wow, what a risky play, but one that worked out for him. Nicely done. So I guess you can Dazzling Gleam now. That was really smart. Like, this one I could have easily won last turn, but figured he wouldn't Geomancy since that's so risky, but I guess my opponent saw that was his only way to really win this one. So now you Dazzling Gleam and Sucker Punch me. So perhaps I sacrifice my Gengar here, and so I get the free switch into my Kangaskhan. Yeah, perfect. Yep. Actually, maybe I switch him. I'll switch him King. Yeah, fake out pressure. So he's probably gonna switch out into Groudon, right? And protect? Maybe he just attacks with Xerneas. So I can try to capitalize and get damage off by going for the low kick and switching out into Ferrothorn. I'm gonna go for this heavy prediction. Okay, that also works. Oh, well, he double protected. So that was a good play. Probably the best, yeah, best option on my opponent's end. Don't know why I didn't really consider that. So what does Ferrothorn or Bisharp do now? I think you Moonblast Kangaskhan and switch out. So I don't really have an answer against that, do I? Actually, if he switches out, he loses. So I'll low kick Gyro Ball. Let's see. I'm not sure if Dazzling Gleam knocks out. I think it might be able to, though. Because then you can just Dazzling Gleam and knock off Ferrothorn. But he just goes for the Moonblast and the knockoff. Yeah, didn't really have any answers there. Gyro Ball picks up the knockout, but I think Sun's going to be up for the remainder of the match, so I lose this one. Oh, no! Hello, I get the rain up. I guess we speed tie? Which is kind of scary, but I will take that. And my opponent actually just forfeits there, seeing that I get the weather up. Was not expecting that, but we take those. Okay, cool. So very scary late game Xerneas situation, but managed to escape one. And so this will be our last game with the team. As I mentioned earlier, if you have any suggestions for what you want to see, definitely let me know. And if you've enjoyed the series thus far, please show your support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. Another Xerneas Groudon setup here, but this time paired with Talonflame, Salamence, and Liepard. And a Mungus. So, let's see. No flying resist means it's heavily tempting to bring Salamence. Let's see. Yeah, I like Salamence here as a lead. Salamence Xerneas is kind of tempting. Nah. he could go with his own Tailwind, so I'll go Salamence, Gengar, Kyogre, and Ferrothorn. Always need Ferrothorn. So he leads with his own Salamence and his Xerneas. Ugh, the mind game's ready. Because I could just go straight for the Draco and a Taunt, but he could just protect Dazzling Gleam, but I could also Hyper Voice Sludge Bomb. I feel like Xerneas here is going to protect, right? I'm going to Draco Sludge Bomb. I'm just going to go all in. Might as well. Just because it's Pokemon Showdown. Like, if this were a best of one regional tournament match, I might think a little bit more, but I'm just kind of YOLOing here. No Protect from either Pokemon. He goes for the Tailwind there, though. So Hyper Voice actually would have been the play. Let's see what Xerneas goes for. Geomancy, Dazzling Gleam? He does Geomancy, so I escaped the first turn by picking up a knockout in around a half, but now he can kind of just sweep through. I do have to focus Ash on Gengar, which could be instrumental, but offensively, excellent turn. Otherwise, Xerneas getting the Geomancy with the Tailwind up is very scary. In comes the Talonflame. I shall double protect here, and Talonflame's kind of a big deal because Gengar normally relies on its speed, but Talonflame can just Brave Bird and Dazzling Gleam. So, yeah, I might have just lost this one from that first turn because I played so aggressively. I didn't double up on Xerneas. If I doubled up on Xerneas, I think I could have easily won this one since Xerneas is the main threat, but I really figured the Protect Tailwind play was coming or something like that. In retrospect, I think that would have been the better play for my opponent to go for, because then you don't take any damage, and then you can just Brave Bird Brave Bird Geomancy or Brave Bird Dazzling Gleam, but yeah. I mean, my opponent's still ahead, and I think should be able to win this one if he plays smart enough, but let's see. Yep, so there's the Brave Bird going straight out into Gengar, and there's the Dazzling Gleam, not much of a surprise. Man. What can I even do? Then again, I guess the Geomancy is smart because even after your Tailwind expires, then you kind of just sweep through everything. And you don't have to waste the turn of your Tailwind setting up. A little bit risky, but works out for my opponent. And, you know, we both took risks there, but it definitely worked out more. Man, I haven't gotten like a single poison with Sludge Bomb on PS. I guess I can switch this out into Ferrothorn. Yeah, this is kind of bad. Yeah, I think Talonflame and Xerneas just wins, even without Tailwind. I guess I'll sack it, switch it out on Ferrothorn, try to get something going. Yeah, so he's gonna take some damage there. Oh, not bad, not bad. Dazzling Gleam just picks up the knockout on both by getting a crit on the Ferrothorn. It's so strong. Xerneas is so good when played properly. Okay, so in comes Kyogre. Well, this might give me something, but he has Groudon in the back, right? So all you have to do is just switch in Groudon. Maybe I can hope my opponent's kind of silly. I mean, what, you Brave Bird? Who do you Brave Bird here? Kyogre? No, probably Gengar. If you Brave Bird, that is. Otherwise, you switch into Groudon. You could switch into Groudon and Dazzling Gleam. That's probably a good option, actually. Yeah. I don't really have answers here, so I'll just Ice Beam Sludge Bomb. But I don't think I actually have a way to win this one. I guess if I protect Sludge Bomb there, I could have maybe pulled something off, but then the Groudon comes in and you still have priority with Talonflame, so get the knockout there, but yeah, Groudon's the last one. Really nicely done there. So aggressive, but that's how good Talonflame and plus Xerneas is in this format. So, win for my opponent there, so we end up with another episode of 3-1, but a pretty fun one at that, some interesting teams and interesting matchups. And yeah, that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, leave a like if you did, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Alright, peace.